Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will soon be back in Australia. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are reportedly planning to visit Sydney and Melbourne next month. It'll be their first visit since the 2018 Invictus Games.
They believed Australia would welcome them warmly, but they were mistaken. A petition featuring the Australian flag and the phrase, "We don't want you here," has gone viral, gathering over 30,000 signatures and still rising. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are scheduled to visit Australia in April 2026, marking their first trip back since 2018. This time, however, the reception is noticeably cold. The Australian government has refused to confirm any security arrangements for their visit, and federal departments are distancing themselves from the couple. The backlash is not just online. It has grown into a political issue, a financial concern, and even a deeply personal matter. So, what exactly led to this situation? Let's break it down. The firestorm began with a Change.org petition that quickly became one of the most talked about royal stories of 2026. Harry and Meghan's visit includes media appearances, business engagements, and personal events. Meghan is set to attend a ticketed event in Sydney, Her Best Life, from April 17th to 19th, with tickets priced between $2,699 and $3,199 Australian dollars per person. Prince Harry will speak at the Interreg Psychosocial Safety Summit in Melbourne on April 15th and 16th, where tickets start at $1,978 Australian dollars. When these prices were revealed, many Australians began asking tough questions. Why should taxpayers cover security, logistics, and government coordination for what appears to be a private tour? That concern quickly turned into a petition, which soon became a cultural flashpoint. It gathered over 10,000 verified signatures early on and continued to grow rapidly. The petition argues that Australian taxpayers should not fund any aspect of Harry and Meghan's visit, including security and logistics, since they are no longer working royals. It even featured a photo of the couple with a bold message, "We don't want you here," which quickly spread across social media. The petition insists their visit should be treated as a private celebrity tour, not a royal one. Since stepping down from royal duties in 2020, they no longer represent the crown and now run private ventures from the United States. At its core, the argument is simple. Australians are facing rising living costs, and public resources should be used wisely. By the time this script was written, the petition, titled "No Taxpayer Funding or Official Support for Harry and Meghan's Private Visit to Australia," had already surpassed 30,000 signatures. This reflects a strong and vocal segment of Australian public opinion, placing Harry and Meghan firmly on the wrong side of it. What's even more striking is the Australian government's response, or lack of one. This part has not received enough attention. It's not just ordinary citizens raising concerns. The government itself is keeping a noticeable distance from the visit. Both federal and state authorities have refused to confirm whether any agency will provide security during the couple's events. Departments such as the Prime Minister and Cabinet, as well as Home Affairs, have clearly stated they are not involved. The Australian Federal Police has maintained its usual position of not commenting on security arrangements. Taken together, this silence sends a powerful message. No federal or state authority has announced plans to use taxpayer funds, provide an official welcome, or participate in any ceremonies. This is a stark contrast to the couple's 2018 tour of Australia, which was fully funded when they were still working royals. Back then, they received full state support, including motorcades, security, and official receptions. In 2026, there is only silence. This raises a critical question. Who will ensure Harry and Meghan's safety during their visit? Event organizers are handling logistics, accommodation, and appearance fees, but they have not clarified who will manage security between venues or during public moments. Harry will speak at the Melbourne Summit, reportedly earning a mid-five-figure fee, with travel and accommodation covered by organizers. Meghan will appear at a luxury retreat in Sydney, where on-site security is expected to be provided. But what happens outside these controlled environments? What about transport between locations or unexpected public situations in busy cities? These concerns are serious. Harry and Meghan are high-profile figures who have faced credible threats in the past. The government's silence only adds to the uncertainty. The message from Canberra appears clear. You chose to become private citizens, and you will be treated that way. To fully understand their current security challenges, it's important to look back at the decisions Harry made. Each step gradually reduced his options. When Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties in January 2020, they lost publicly funded UK police protection. They moved to California and began relying on private security for themselves and their home in Montecito. Harry has stated that financial support for his security was cut off, forcing him to depend on his inheritance from Princess Diana. This led to a long legal battle. Harry wanted his police protection restored when visiting the UK. He argued it was essential for his safety, not a privilege, but the courts disagreed. In May 2025, Harry lost his legal challenge to reinstate state-funded protection in the UK. The court described his arguments as superficial, meaning they did not stand up to serious scrutiny. Now in 2026, Harry has no state-funded protection in either the UK or Australia. Government departments that usually arrange security for royal visits have made it clear they will not be involved. The situation is deeply ironic. Harry publicly rejected royal rules and responsibilities, yet still sought the privileges that came with them. He wanted independence and profit from his title, but also expected protection from the crown. The courts, and now the Australian government, have effectively delivered the same message. You cannot have it both ways. Harry and Meghan have also faced criticism over recent trips to Colombia and Jordan. Reports suggest the royal family is unhappy with the couple using their titles for personal branding while presenting these visits in a way that resembles official royal tours without approval. Each international trip follows a familiar pattern. They arrive with the appearance of royalty, using the image and structure of official engagements, supported by polished public relations. But this happens without the Crown's backing, funding, or protection. Now, the Australian government appears to have taken notice and is choosing not to cooperate. The ticket prices that shocked the nation are another key factor behind the backlash. Australia is currently facing a serious cost of living crisis. Many people are struggling with mortgages, rising grocery bills, and cutting back on essentials. In this climate, Harry and Meghan's events feel disconnected from reality. Harry is set to speak at the Entourage Psychosocial Safety Summit in Melbourne, where tickets cost over $1,500. He is expected to earn a speaking fee of around $50,000. Meanwhile, Meghan will attend a 3-day luxury retreat in Sydney aimed at wealthy women. For $3,199 Australian dollars, around 300 attendees will hear her speak, attend a gala dinner, and take photos with her. To put that into perspective, $3,199 Australian dollars is a significant amount for a beachside retreat hosted by someone who is no longer a working royal and now operates private commercial ventures. Those signing the petition were not acting unreasonably. Many believe the money that could be spent on security for Harry and Meghan should instead go toward urgent national needs like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. The visit was always likely to be controversial, but the high ticket prices turned concern into frustration. It gave everyday Australians a clear message to express. This is not about us. This is about them profiting from our country while expecting government support for their safety. Royal commentator Tom Sykes warned that the couple should prepare for a far less welcoming reception. The public support they once enjoyed has faded. In 2018, their tour was a success, and Australia warmly embraced them, especially Meghan. That goodwill, however, has now largely disappeared. The backlash in Australia also comes at a difficult time for their broader business ventures. Their media projects are facing serious challenges. Meghan Markle's lifestyle brand, as ever, recently lost its partnership with Netflix in early March 2026. This marked a significant shift in her 6-year relationship with the platform. The timing was especially difficult. Just months earlier, the couple had expressed optimism about extending their Netflix deal. Yet Netflix quietly stepped away from the As Ever brand. While both sides maintained a polite public stance, insiders suggested a different reality. Reports indicate that Netflix grew frustrated with the repeated focus on their departure from royal life and struggled to see how the brand aligned with its long-term goals. Confidence in Harry and Meghan began to decline. The numbers reflect this shift. Harry's documentary Polo ranked 3,436th in viewership, reaching only around 500,000 households. For a couple who entered Netflix with a reported $100 million deal and high expectations, these results are disappointing. Launched in 2020, Archwell Productions aimed to create meaningful content for a global audience. However, over the past 18 months, its focus has largely shifted towards supporting Meghan's as ever brand. However, the shows themselves failed to connect with audiences. Meghan's lifestyle series with Love, Meghan received harsh criticism, with one review calling it an utterly deranged, bizarre journey into the center of nothing. Critics found it inauthentic, and audiences largely agreed. The sudden end of the As Ever partnership raised serious questions about Meghan's credibility and cast doubt on any chances of a royal reconciliation. Experts noted that Netflix publicly denied any major issues. Netflix's chief content officer, Bella Bajaria, stated at the Next on Netflix event, "Don't believe everything you read. Maybe we should all do a little fact-checking." A spokesperson also dismissed claims of a fallout as completely inaccurate. But the facts tell a different story. The deal has been restructured, and the brand partnership has ended. That is the reality Harry and Meghan face as they arrive in Australia. Now, attention turns to the quiet but growing tension between Prince Harry, Meghan, and the rest of the royal family, especially during this visit. Shortly after Harry and Meghan announced their trip, Prince William marked an anniversary of the Royal Australian Navy. Some saw this as a subtle reminder of the royal family's official connection to Australia. William did not hold a press conference or comment directly. Instead, he carried out his duties with the full weight of the crown behind him. In contrast, Harry and Meghan's visit appeared more commercial than official. Reports suggest Meghan reached out to Kensington Palace before the trip, hoping for support to ease public reaction. The palace reportedly did not respond. William's actions were not just personal, they were strategic. He aimed to protect the dignity of the monarchy and maintain a clear boundary between official duties and private ventures. His silence speaks to that divide. Harry and Meghan have spent years navigating a complex position. They are no longer working royals, yet they continue to use their titles. At the same time, they expect government-level security despite stepping into private life. The palace has observed this carefully. King Charles appears to maintain some level of connection with Harry, but William has taken a firmer approach. This Australian visit highlights the deepening divide between the royal family and the Sussexes. The tension intensified after their 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey, followed by Harry's memoir and multiple media projects that exposed private family matters. Each interview, documentary, and public statement has come at a cost. In Australia, a Commonwealth nation with strong ties to the British Crown, it matters that Harry and Meghan are visiting without official approval or support. They are not representing the monarchy or carrying out state duties. This reality aligns with the views of many Australians, their government, and the palace itself. So what happens next? Despite the backlash, the trip is still moving forward. Meghan will host the Her Best Life retreat, and Harry will speak in Melbourne. Their events remain scheduled, but they are arriving in a very different environment than in 2018. They are entering a country where a petition signed by tens of thousands declares, "We don't want you here." They have no official backing, no confirmed state security, and no support from the crown. The media landscape is also far more critical than it was 8 years ago. In Australia, public resources are reserved for official duties that clearly benefit the nation. By choosing a private commercial path in the United States, Harry and Meghan stepped away from those expectations. The public resistance to funding their visit is not just emotional. It reflects a broader stance on how taxpayer money should be used. This raises a bigger question. How sustainable is their brand? Maintaining strong partnerships with platforms like Netflix is crucial, especially after their public split with Spotify, where an executive controversially labeled them as grifters. The challenges are mounting: public backlash in Australia, distance from the palace, legal battles over security, and mixed audience performance. Each issue adds pressure to their post-royal strategy. Harry and Meghan placed a major bet on building relevance and financial success outside royal life. That outcome is still uncertain. Australia is just one more test in their ongoing struggle for influence, respect, and recognition beyond their royal past. The message from the petition is clear: we don't want you here. After everything, the question remains: where do Harry and Meghan truly belong? They are still heading to Sydney despite the backlash and the government stepping away. Whether you sympathize with them or not, one thing is certain: this story is far from over. What do you think? Is Australia being too harsh, or is the backlash justified? If you found this breakdown helpful, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This story is still unfolding, and we'll keep you updated. See you next time.